Good afternoon, everybody. I nearly said good morning there. It feels like morning to me. I'm not a morning person. Hope everyone's doing well. This is going to be just a short stream. I'd be very surprised if it gets anywhere near 2 hours long, because I've got to be at work in about 2.5 hours. But I couldn't stay away. I wanted to add more to the game. I wanted to grow my Twitch channel. Let's let this music play out. It's getting towards the end. Right, the very first thing I'm going to do today is take on board Moz's advice. I didn't have time yesterday. I started getting tired very early. It suddenly hit me after about an hour in. I lost all concentration. And I forgot to get around to changing this, but it's quite important to change because it's going to sort the graphics out. It was just a copy paste error by the looks of it. I've just opened Moz's message, and then I'll close. Oh, dearie me. There we go. Good day, Mike. Good day, Moz. Just a quickie before work. That's right. Yeah, I was in two minds about it, but you know the streams are going well, and I want to keep them going. And I didn't want to do any coding offline this time and just show it to you. I've got a horrible feeling I am going to fail here. You know, I'm not sort of set for it, but we'll soon find out. Yeah, so the first thing I'm looking at is in spritedrawing.asm. It's absolutely tipping down here, so it's the perfect time to code anyway. It's one of my greatest feelings actually, is when it's raining hard and I'm nerding out on the computer, you know, no bad feelings, just cracking on. Okay, so sprite draw 16128. Mm. 07. Have I gone to the wrong one now? Interesting, it's actually quite hard to find. Wait there, I'm doing this all wrong. 16128. Copy it. Or highlight it. God, I don't know how you managed to find this, mods. This is huge. Alright, so somewhere in there. Crikey. Darn it. Alright. Raining in Melbourne. Sounds like a good name for a song. Right down at the bottom, okay. Thank you. It doesn't help that my window was actually like half underneath the screen. All the way at the bottom of the routine, under comment 07. This is it, yeah? Because in your text that you wrote to me, it says Inc BC Inc HL 2. So it must mean this bit, yeah? All of that. God, my brain functions so different at this time of the day. It's funny. I mean, I'm sure I could get used to doing coding at this time of the day. But normally I'm just vegging about, driving around to a pasty shop. That's it, yeah? Let's try that then. Oh, that makes obvious sense now when you look at it, yeah. So I've somehow drawn one extra line of pixels or something. Crikey. Good spot. You've taught me something there, because the first place I should check when I do these copy pastes is the end, I guess, rather than the top. Let's try run it then. So this should just affect the... And there's that pixel, miss it, it's gone, that's perfect. So we've made some progress already today. Good afternoon, Coder Mick. Good to see you. Thanks to Moz, we've sorted out that ghost pixel. We just got this guy. You know, I was lying in bed last night and I had an amazing idea of how to fix his movement, but I've completely forgot it. I still don't know why he's walking, you know, why he's turning not at halfway. Just seems to be able to turn whenever he wants. I'll look at it one more time, his movement. So he's alright going down. He seems to turn early, doesn't he? Every single time there. I did do it a bit rudimental. It's just every frame we call this and then it checks. That's why. It needs to be cool Z. Cool Z. That's what happens when you're tired, isn't it? And that can really screw you over, that tiny little thing missing. Imagine if you've got like 10,000 lines of code or something. I think this might work. That didn't look too good. I think the problem we'll have now is when he's in the middle he can still turn for a while. I need to reduce that like -8 thing. Or I could do what I suggested yesterday and put a bool to say that he's just turned and then reset that later. Like maybe when he hits a wall or even just like 3 seconds later or something. It's a lot better than it was a minute ago. He's not. Oh, I know why he's not turning in the middle very often. Middle chance. That's only 5 out of 250%. You know, it's like a 1% chance, isn't it? So that should be about a 10% chance. I probably should have done half so we see it quicker. I find it weird he always does that, but that's the seed, isn't it? I could change the seed and get him to behave differently there. Huh. Go on, go up. I want him to go down the middle of the classroom. Alright, what I'm going to do is change middle chance. We can change middle chance a lot and this routine because he's turning round. I could make it so he just can't turn round. If he's moving right and it chooses left, I'll just choose to ignore that, you know, if I want to. Where was it? Bob. I might start taking advantage of being able to open 2 windows at once soon. I used to do that when I was coding alone. I've forgotten how to do it. It's not quite so good on this little window, but yeah, this would be good. Oops. I prefer it the other way around. Yeah, that makes things a bit easier for now. So let's just give him like a massive chance of, you know, 4 times out of 5 he's going to turn in the middle. He's straight away, I think he turned twice there. Is he only at the top? I thought I'd done the bottom as well. Get over in that middle, boy. I'm expecting him to have turned to the middle by now. Especially now. Stubborn. He's a stubborn guy. Bob. Now I'm left with a little bit of a conundrum because I don't know whether this is working or not. Can I force it to go down? I want to be able to do it conditionally, of course. Well, I could just do return Z. Cool. Bob. Sorry, not cool. Load A, Bob go down. And then load that into the action state. I need to change that Bob action state name next. Should really be called desired direction, I think. Because that way it makes it clear that direction is his actual direction. And then if I want an action state, I'll just create a different set of states. Alright, so you can only choose down now when that triggers. So I mean, I could try to change border color if I get really desperate. Here's a maniac. It's almost like the reverse of what I want him to do right now, but it's better than nothing at the moment. Oh, he's gone down. That's it. Get back up there and then go down the middle because I've given him a chance, like a 4 out of 5 chance of going down when he gets to the top middle. Go up there, you git. I think this is literally just us being unlucky. He should be turning eventually to the left. Oh, if he keeps doing this, I'm going to change the bottom one as well. Alright, sod it. I'm doing that. Whoops. He is a maniac. Alright, so he's going to get stuck in the middle now, of course. Like, he's got a 4 out of 5 chance of being stuck in the middle. He has. I'm really enjoying creating this game. It's one of the most fun I've had in all game development that I've ever done. It's because it's something I've wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. You know, and the specky graphics bring that vibe to it, don't they? You know. He's probably just going to turn around and go up now, isn't he? Yeah. That's the only problem with this method of debugging that I've just done. Oh, interesting how he managed to move a bit. I suppose he has a 4 out of, like I say, a 1 out of 5 chance of actually not going down. Yeah, he's going to throw teeth at you in a minute as well. We've got Taphead to put in later as well. I've always wondered what was the thought behind Taphead. That's convinced me that this does work. Maybe what was happening when there was a lower chance that it was going down, but then immediately finding another, doing it again. Maybe I'm going to try just getting rid of them plus and minuses. In fact, undo, keep undoing. Yeah, and I'll just try that. So as soon as he moves down, it should make him not able to choose again. Instantly avoids the middle again, like an annoyance. Like I say, this is just only to keep him inside the boundaries of the game, really. We still need to come up with a much more complicated version when he goes into hunt mode. If I'd be happy with this mode has like patrol mode or stroll mode. If he was going down the middle more. And I'm trying to think of a way of avoiding having balls, because it's a bit of a, I don't know what the word is, but like a thread. You pull it and you keep pulling, because you'll end up just adding loads of balls and they'll all be similarly named. If I can do some sort of mathematical equation instead, I can just, if I can think of a way of making this a maths equation, I can then close them like that and just forget them. But if I have balls for each one, I'm going to be looking at them all the time. Do you see what I mean? Checking which ball I'm checking and stuff, which is okay. It's not the end of the world doing that, but yeah, yeah. Maybe I just need to change it to like don't go middle. Change the name. I'm doing a sneaky thing on my phone. I'm sure I told you already, where I'm using my remaining data to watch my own stream, but it keeps bloody locking. I've told it not to lock. I think if I go full screen, there we go. That's a new thing to try. That's going to work for me. Because I've got, if I can just stay above 3, it's going to be all good within about 3-4 weeks. This is very basic as well, isn't it? That we're just calling that. I think maybe I do a ball, and I can just check it there. And I'll close these down. They're pretty much finished. So we check that chance. I'm going to put that chance to be 128, so it should be like 50-50. Yeah, Mick. I've just completed the badge. You'll notice I made Moz a VIP because he's been in basically all of my streams supporting me and other ways as well. So I've got the option to make up to 10 VIPs now because I've got over 50 and I've got some other little like achievements met. But yeah, the next one is all I need is over 3, and I'm actually only at 1.3 right now. But for the last week, it's been about 4 average. So I'm already 1 week into like the higher average, which is great news. I never dreamt it possible, to be honest. I could have done this years ago, and I thought it would be. I didn't think anyone would be interested, but yeah, I am really happy about it. Very happy. Yeah, so we've got a 50-50 chance of getting. This gets called every frame. We should probably have it that way round, just to save on, because that's less likely. So if he's not at the right, God, hang on. Maybe we should do equal to there. Yeah, NZ. So return if it's not equal to that. So now it's even less likely. Thank you, Mick and Mike. Yeah, I really am happy, man. Thank you. Because the channel's growing. I was unfortunately really tired yesterday, but I had 7 viewers, and I looked at the stats because I do all that obviously afterwards, and it seemed to me I've actually managed to get some people retaining. You know, it used to go up and down like they'd stay a few minutes, and now it looks like it's actually a step. It goes up and up the longer I stream, so that's really positive. The way I see it, if I can enjoy what I'm doing as well, it's going to shine through, and that's one of the most important things. I think the very most important thing, as a tip for anyone else wanting to do the same, was the graphics. I was doing the coding and it was fine, but as soon as I added better graphics, I did notice more of an interest on both social media and Twitch. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be brilliant. It just has to be like smart looking, you know, not just placeholders. So what I've done is I've made it so it has to be exactly that now. And then it checks this, so it's got a 50-50 chance of returning again. Then he has to be exactly middle for that to call. That's probably it. Sometimes people just want to see, did I get out of it? But yeah, it's a really positive sign that we've got these 2 or 3 that are watching regularly, and that's all I really need. So yeah, couldn't be more chuffed, to be honest. I'm almost at that stage where I'm going to sort of tell my work colleagues about the channel and try and get them to follow. But at first it's too small, they'll just laugh at me, you know. But okay, let's just try it and see what happens with that. He's got very little chance of turning now. Well, he's got half a chance. Perhaps he's got no chance, because what might be happening is he might be going over that, where I've just changed it to be exactly equal to that. The actual code where it stops him allows him to go over that. Yeah, when I say laugh at me, I mean these are guys I know in real life, and they'll probably, well, they wouldn't be nasty about it or anything, but they might behind my back laugh at me, But I'd probably just being paranoid. But they're nice guys, I really enjoy that job as well. But obviously, if I've got a good enough income from doing this, I would definitely quit my day job, because it wears me out to no end. How can we make him move? I think I have to change that back again, unfortunately. It needs to be less than and more than or equal. We'll probably just see him being really erratic again now, yeah. So we are hitting a point in this game development where it's gonna maybe get frustrating. It's not just adding and repeating stuff anymore. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that VIP thing actually awards you, but I've got the option to do it. I think it just, if the channel got really big, it would be a help, because it allows you to chat when it blocks chat in other chat, and things like that. But I don't think it gives them any benefit other than the badge. Why is he not going down the middle of that class? If we look at the start, he is going down the middle and then he turns. Like having spoilers on the car. Exactly. So he turns. I think I start him above minimum Y, or lesser than minimum Y. I think that's what that is. Let's just try starting him at min Y and min X. So he didn't turn, obviously. He didn't even try to turn by the looks of it. That's weird. He managed to get further to the left. I just put him at min X. He's doing basically the reverse of what I want him to do. I want him to patrol at the top a little bit more than the bottom. The bugger turned in the middle then, but he went left. Oh god. I mean, he's doing something, but it's very far from adequate yet. I'm wondering if this is the right path to go down. It seems like it is. I find him hilarious as well in loads of ways. I find his movement funny, his animation, his bald head. It's brilliant. I'm coming up in my head right now with a backup plan for tonight. I don't want to spend 2-3 hours just on Bob moving around in this lesson. So I'm going to do some of Bob, but I'm going to have to add something else as well, just to make it a little bit interesting. I'll probably start off with something else and go back to Bob. Because I'm puzzled here. I'm running out of ideas already. If it's, I'm just checking this middle chance thing. So it gets a random number. Bob middle chance. Return if less than. I'll just try putting that to 1. And now he's starting in the top left corner. It might be. I mean, that should affect the bottom and the top. He should go up the middle at some point. I'll change the seed next and just see if that makes a difference. Ooh, he went for it. Okay, that's good. I just need to stop. For some reason, he's able to call that again whilst he's still moving up there, isn't he? He hates the top there, where he's supposed to be. He hates being in the position where he's getting paid to stand. Yeah, it's getting closer. We're nudging closer towards what we want, look. If he just doesn't turn again once he's moving up, I think the bull is the answer for me. But I did want to avoid that. There's got to be a way of doing it mathematically. He is teasing. I mean, I still haven't seen him go from the top down. This is where my P-brain mind kicks in, because in like Unity you've got access to delta time and all that. It's very easy to make timers. So the first thing I default to is just make a little timer. Like I could, 2 seconds, and then when he changes direction, just set that timer back and not allow it to, But it's such a cop out, and I don't like doing that. It makes for messy code. I guess the chance might actually help, just not being quite so likely. It's a bit like where I was struggling with the animation timer though, because there seems to be another factor in this calculation. Like I put 1% chance of it failing, or 1% chance of him not turning, yet sometimes he doesn't turn still quite often. It's unfortunately slow. I have to sit here and watch what he does to get an idea, really. He still hasn't gone down. Come on, Bob, go up. I put the chance. Oh no, I put the chance down actually. Yeah. Oh, same thing happened then. It happened at the bottom. I'd love to be able to print Bob's position, his Y position on the screen. That would help me so much. Because what I want to know is, was he... This says it can't change. Return if it's under max Y. So he must have been over max Y. or equal to it. But it changed twice, didn't it? Yesterday I tried to snap him, like when he got to the min, I tried to snap him to min, but it just didn't seem to react to that. Don't tempt me though, I will do that. Anything to get content out there, isn't it? AI Bob. Bob Simulator. Hmm. The emulator does have a debugger view, but I don't know how to use it. I'll show you it. Bear with me. So, single step. Nothing's moving, you know. I've tried clicking that like 1,000 times before. Another thing that absolutely annoys me about this debugger is how do I... You can't sort the memory addresses or anything, or instruction, which makes sense, but you can't hop to a number. Like, how the hell are you supposed to... How the hell are you supposed to know what you're doing? So I am a complete novice. I know I'm supposed to use breakpoints, but I don't know how it works. I mean, I've been using breakpoints and debuggers for over a decade with other languages, but never ever on this. I've tried, but it's completely different to the way I use debuggers and profilers and stuff. What the hell does that mean? If only it could step there, then I'd at least have a chance. If I was pressing step and he was actually going to turn, I could find the precise moment he turns. So obviously I would put a breakpoint in here to do that, wouldn't I? I'm definitely sure it is. You know, a professional or any expert would be lost without that. I'm sure. Yeah, you're dead correct. I'm sure. But I'm still at that sort of caveman hacking away sort of stage. I'd love to know how to like precisely how to use this and just to check the values because that's all I want to know. What's Bob's Y position now? I've got Bob Y there. How the hell am I supposed to know where that's stored in memory for a start? Step through run machines is called and it'll step through all the buffer stuff as well. So you'd need breakpoints. I wonder if breakpoints work from here just automatically though. I suppose Pasmo would have, I'd have to look up on Pasmo documentation about breakpoints, I think. Because it would have to go via Pasmo, wouldn't it? Maybe it's just an option down there to add debugging or something. I bet it's just as simple as writing like -D or something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I do need to look that up. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Yes, that's right. I could go into ZX Spin. I have an emulator called ZX Spin, which has, oops, it's got a Z80 assembler inside it, and then this, you can just literally poke it into the memory without even making the tape or compiling it or anything. I used to use that to start with, but then I found I made more progress just doing it with the VS Code. Maybe it was just the way that I learned. You know, I just learned a lot of bad habits really quickly. It reminds me of Maniac Mansion, definitely. Is it not so good? Yeah, yeah, because that was the very first tool I used, and I ran into lots of beginner problems. I didn't blame the app for it, but in the end, someone taught me about that. Whoops, I meant to close that. In the end, someone taught me about this here with the end, and showed me about Pasmo with tap bass. That doesn't work in ZX Spin, I don't think, because it doesn't. That's not how it works. And I was still at such a raw understanding, like a base level understanding of it. I wanted to make a tape file. You know, I didn't want ZX Spin. I didn't understand it. I wrote some code in it that worked, but I wanted to run it in Fuse, and I couldn't. You know, what the hell are pokes? That's basically like a game. What people call a game genie code now is a poke. It's like a memory address. I think you can browse pokes nowadays, and it just does it all for you. It's a lot like if you've ever used a Nintendo NES. It's a lot like the Action Replay cartridge, which I actually owned. You go in, you lose a life, and then you quit, you reset. A bit like Game Genie, yeah, but more like the Instant Replay actually, where you go in, you lose a life, you hit reset, and then it gives you like a whole bunch of memory addresses that it could be, and you just have to keep doing less than or equals. Nice. I was lucky enough that for some reason my mum bought me an Action Replay cartridge. We went to some like event where they were showing it off. Yeah, it was Instant Action Replay or something it was called. It was bloody awesome because it was a lot like what people do now on ROM hacking and stuff. It just had less than, greater than, you know, equal to, more than or equal, and you just kept hitting reset, losing a life, figuring out which ones was the lives and stuff. It's quite cool. Rightio then, what do we do here? Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it at the time. It was just loads of numbers to me at the time, but the manual explained to you how to get yourself extra lives or infinite lives or continues. It basically involved the same thing that ROM hacking is now. Like, have you ever heard of retro achievements? I used to develop for them. Still am a developer there, but I haven't done it for a long time. Yeah, I guess they did. They definitely did. I mean, at the time, there was no such thing as an emulator, of course. Like the NES was still brand new technology. No one even had a home PC really back then. It was just before, maybe some people did. Commodore Amiga was more likely. Right, I'm gonna give in and put the ball in there in a minute. Hmm. I don't actually think that's going to solve it though, because he seems to turn down and then immediately has another choice and turns to the side again. So I guess it would solve it if I did the timer thing, but it's annoying. It says it's got to be exactly 11 his position. I think I need to do exactly that. So return if it's not exact. Maybe what's happening is he's going 4 below because I let him move it. He's offset by 4. Same with that. Plus 4. I haven't actually tried that. So exactly that now he is. He's stuck down there now. He will go up eventually, but test the up. See, I'll need him to go across that middle and the up. See if that works. It's pretty clear the bottom one isn't working. I'm going to remove down from his vocabulary in a minute. Alright, doesn't look like it works. Definitely seems to favour some numbers. A random thing. Of course, I haven't changed the seed yet. We could have just tried that. I think I've messed it up since then though. Yeah, you've done some ROM hacking. When I said ROM hacking, I was really talking about adding achievements to the old games. So it's similar to cheat hunting. It's like you're just finding certain statistics so you can make achievements up about it. You know, get to the end of level 1 with all of your lives or whatever, stuff like that. What an absolute bugger. It's so close, and I like the logic of it. And I think it's just because he's not exactly at that spot. Because he tries to move down, and it says return if you're more than or equal to max Y. It is interesting, Geo. You should check it out if you play on emulators. I've got loads of enjoyment out of that site as a developer and a player. It's called retroachievements.org. It's really fun. See, I think what's happening is we're saying stop when it's more than or equal. Here, if we say more than or equal, so return if it's less than, yeah. Hang on, let me figure this out. So only calling that if it's more than or equal. Yes, that's correct. We're basically this is to lock him so that when he hits a wall, so that we can let him just roam around within the boundaries. Then that worked fine. He was roaming around within the boundaries. We got there, but we tried to add this middle chance thing where when he gets to the middle aisle, he decides suddenly to move down, but it's not working. What I'm doing there is it's saying this gets called every frame, and it says if Bob's Y is less than max Y, return. So it will never change. And this is talking about the bottom now. So in other words, if he's in the game area, then it won't do that. So that's the bit I'm worried about. But when it gets to the bottom, it checks if it's more than or equal. And it calls to change direction. We see him turning right, so we know that's working. But in theory, if he turns right, he's still more than or equal to Y, isn't he? To max Y. So this should be getting called. I don't see the problem with that. It is. It really is. And I've only gone off the example I've seen in the book, which is very nice and simple, and according to him, is actually tried and tested to be one of the best ways on the Specky, according to what I've read. But there it is. It's that straightforward. Let's just change the seed just to see if it gives us some new behaviour. Like I said, I've messed the code up a bit now, so I probably won't see much different behaviour. Although he goes up now instead of right. Look, I think he was normally going right there. He's going right every time, up every time. Way, way, the seed. That's it. Make your way round to the other side. No. I need to come up with some way of making him not quite so thick. Like if he's at max X, I won't allow him to look right eventually. That's not that hard to do. I'm quite happy with this now. It's worked. It's now just a case of changing them chance values, I think. He did it, yeah. The one out of 1,000 times. The weird thing is, we've said it so that he should do it more often than not, really. I can understand why he's not getting up there. That's just kind of luck. But here, yeah, he's done it. That's good. It's working right now. I don't know what I had wrong, because I seem like I've already done this. But it's the seed, I guess. This is much better. He's already quite aggressive. Like, really, I want him to stay up there a lot more until you've got a few hearts. Perfect now. Oh, I wish he went right there. It just seems to favour some numbers. So the seed obviously means you're going to favour some other numbers sometimes. I don't think it's anything to do with my equations or maths or whatever you want to word that as. I think it's actually the random number not being great. Well, it's definite progress. How can I make him go to the top a bit more without a massive nest of like random number sort of chance things? Thing is, pretty quickly you're going to get up and start collecting hearts, so he's going to quickly go into an alert state. So it doesn't matter that much. I might even just try a couple of different seeds and see how it looks. And I'll pop him in the middle now as well, or somewhere near the middle. I'll keep him where he is for now. I'll just keep changing the seed. Just like three attempts. See if they're different. I should remember the bloody seed I put before, really. Seems slower now. I don't like this seed. Okay. I haven't seen him go up from the bottom middle yet, I don't think. Again, we can sort that out so he doesn't look at the wall. Yes, he went up. Okay. Do you know what? It's almost perfect, I think, for just the roaming. Other than the looking at the wall where he's already facing. Maybe the chance needs to be nudged a little bit. Excellent. What time is it? Not too bad. There he goes. He's going well, isn't he? I mean, I probably won't do it immediately, but I'll show you how I'm thinking of changing him looking at the wall. Excuse me. We already know what way he's facing here, but not only that, we specifically, depending on which wall he hits, well, with the top and the bottom we do already. So, for example, I could either make a jump where it jumps back if it gets the same one, or if it gets the one I don't want him to get. Or I could just say, I could somehow cache his value here. His state, his go state value. Let's change the name of that actually. Now we've got it working. I don't like that action state name. Bob desired direction. That makes sense to me. That's it. I'm going to fiddle with the chances a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think there's no reason why we can't do that actually. I could just have multiple variables, couldn't I? Well, I don't know where. Oh, middle chance. See, I could just change that, couldn't I? Have more than one of them. I think that's all I need to change to get that name change. Yeah, good. So let's just do that for now then. I think I made it less than. So that's actually not a very big. No, I don't know. It must be more than. I mean, I'm not sure if they are any different. Oh, I see what you mean. If we want him to go towards the top more often. So return if it's less than. So it's got only a 1 in 5 chance of returning, as it is. But if he's at the top, if we put that up a bit, he should stay at the top more now. Because when he's at the bottom, he's just more likely to turn up. That's a good idea. This is a good thinking because we're not having to really add many more variables or like formula into our code. We're just changing one thing. Obviously, still looking at the walls. I've got to come up with a way of sorting him to do that. Not to do that. Maybe I'm doing it backwards on the true false thing there. Yeah, he's gone up though. Obviously, I didn't do the corner bit. I only changed the middle there. That was only the middle stuff. Middle changer. When we change direction, it's a shame in a way that we're calling that. The corner change could be maybe done better. I think I'm going to make 2 of these. Bob choose random direction. Corner. Because that way, I had it in my head how to do it a second ago and it was really simple, but I've lost it. But basically, I can't remember how I was going to do it, but we know what way he's facing when we call this. This gets called in each one of those. So, like I say, if we really wanted, I could actually make a specific one for every corner. Bob is getting smarter. Bob 2.0. Teacher Bob. I'm thinking I'm going to make an actual cassette cover for this game and a tiny little manual that will fold up to go in with the cassette. It's going to have like Teacher Bob, stuff like they do in the old manual, and it'll tell you about his weaknesses and stuff. He's going to be a brain box by the time we're finished. We could make him absolutely lethal, but that's going to be the hard bit. Is not making him lethal, but still making him a challenge. Because I could make him lethal where he just homes in on you. That's not going to be a problem. But playing that might be tricky. Anyway, let's get him still just walking normally first. He seems to have no spatial awareness at the moment. He knows not where the walls are. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. We're trying to move in a direction, and we call that. At that point, we know his direction is set to the direction he's facing. If he's moving left, we definitely don't want him to choose. Wait, was he not switching direction and then switching back to left? That's what makes it look stupid, isn't it? Because if you just carry on looking left, it wouldn't look that bad. Same with right or even up. Yeah. Alright, we're going to have to do some sort of working out on his position then, I guess. Unless I might be being a bit thick here. But I'm thinking I could just hard code these. I either hard code these or I have a check to say what's his position. He will spawn in the middle of the class, but this is just helping to see the AI quicker. If I spawn him in the middle, he'll probably walk down unless I start changing the seed. But I can easily put him in the middle. That's set here. For each level, he gets respawned, obviously. So in the level is where we say where we're going to spawn him. I think it's 11. I can even put mid. I've got a constant for that. Mid X. That should have been there. Min Y. There we go. He starts in the top middle now. That's it. It is a bit of a mess, the code, but it does make sense when, a lot of it when you think about it. For copying and pasting levels, I've got this is why I've set it up like this. I've got a Bob class, and then Bob level 1 is everything that needs to be copied and pasted for level 2. Same with levels, except for Spiky is basically level. But then all these are the different levels I've copied and pasted. Bob class, yeah. Well, that's what I call it. It's a class. I'm just used to calling it classes. Yeah, he's at home in a class, isn't he? Gets confusing with all these names. I'm actually thinking it's easier just to do the top right, isn't it? Like, if I just go TR. Or, yeah, TR makes sense. top left first. It's definitely a bit of a cop out, this, but then I think it just saves on instructions. I could have made it one routine and then had checks in here to check Bob's position. Oh, good. You like the file arrangement? Yeah, it got a bit messy, but then we tidied it up, and it did make a lot of sense actually. Yeah, it's better than having it all in one for sure. Thanks, Fractal Mike. I'll see you again soon. Yeah, thanks very much for checking it out again. Yeah, as I say, it feels stupid doing this all the time, but it saves on an instruction, doesn't it? It's going to make the game run faster. So try move left. Ah, of course, I'll have to do a check in here though. Okay, what I'll do is remove them two. Just do LR. So I'm trying to move left. So that's of course L, R, L, R. And now all I have to do is check if his position's like higher or lower than the middle. I may as well put mid Y while I'm here. Remember, mid Y is not where the middle of the screen is. Oh, it actually is on the Y, isn't it? We're using the full screen. So I think that's 12, might be 11, but it doesn't matter. Poo 1, poo 2. That's a great memory. That's brilliant, isn't it? 38 years later you can remember that. That's brilliant. That cracks me up. You got further than me with it. I used to type in some programs onto my Spectrum, but I didn't even know how to save them. I'd just run them and then that would be it. And they're gone. Most of the time they didn't work. So I load Bob Y. Compare with mid Y. Now this is the bit. Oh really? I can actually, believe it or not, still remember being 4 years old, getting my Spectrum 128K, being given it, loving it. But in the manual, like you'd get a little inset on the cassettes, or sometimes it was written on the cassette, type, load, dash dash, whatever it was. And I used to manage it. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But so you got keyboard reference. So if you got a real Spectrum there, and is it a 48K one? I keep meaning to buy a 48K. They're such a little, it doesn't take up any space, does it? But with emulators, it's not something you get straight around to when you ain't got much money, is it? What I want to do is get a different random number based on whether it's higher or lower than mid, just to know what corner we're in. I've done that before. I know exactly what you're talking about, Geo. Fuse does that as well, I think. But I've got to the point now, yeah, where it just I only play my games that I've written, and it automatically loads. But when I first started doing it, just 6 months ago or something, I loaded it like you were saying, and I had to figure out which key meant what, and it was crazy. Made me laugh my head off. Because I actually first got the Spectrum 128K and they didn't have any of that, so my memory of Spectrum wasn't all that ret. You know, with them weird buttons. Although my friend had a 48K, but I don't think I ever loaded the game. I think he done it for me every time. That's brilliant. Yeah, it's all forgotten to me that, unfortunately. I do want to buy one day. I saw, like I said, I think I said it on the channel before that this guy sells pimped up 48Ks. They're all like resprayed. They look awesome though, and they apparently work. He's added to it some Bluetooth thing, so you can like Bluetooth games onto it or something. And he sells it for £69 on eBay, and it's like refurbished, like new. He's got about 20 of them, different colours. That sounds good. So it just thinks the SD card's a tape file, is that right? Or is it like a whole like library where it pops up with a game list? Spectrum laptop, no. Weirdly enough, I saw a real life Commodore 64 laptop. Not real life, what I mean was it came out in 1984 and it was called the Commodore 64 SX. And I just saw a picture of that the other day, like today I think actually. It was weird. It was like I think it was called a laptop, but you couldn't put it on your laptop. Oh, is it a library? Yeah, that's good. So sort of like the NES with the flash card, EverDrive or whatever they call it. So here's quite a tidy way to do a yes/no comparison, or whatever you want to call it. Let's have a look. Retro radionics. My internet's so slow, it's still loading. It's just a white page. Here we go, something's coming up. That's cool. Do you think, do they sell it with the working Spectrum inside? I wonder if that guy on eBay selling it for £69 was just selling the shell then, and I didn't read it properly. I thought it said it was a legitimate 48k. Oh, maybe he was a scammer because I don't see him here anymore. Wow, there's some bargains to be had though. They're not overly expensive. Ooh, but that's a nice clean way of doing a yes/no look. Of course, the problem with doing that is, well, we'll have to have a return statement in both. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. I didn't know that. I would have thought one day they'll be worth more. Like, especially if you get one that's in really good condition, that's boxed with all the gear. I'm sure it will be. It'll go up in value. There's not many things you can say you buy and you enjoy that would actually increase in value anyway. So now I know which corner he's in. What do I want to do? I mean, I guess I just want him to choose one of two directions, don't I? Either back the way he came, or if he's in the, let's say he's in the top right corner. So I want him to either go left or down. So I suppose it's that simple again, isn't it? It's just another yes/no. I like it. Continue forward. But I do like to say it out loud logically. That's why I sometimes state the obvious. I think that's where I've fallen down on this this routine, this entire massive, group of routines is it cool in every frame? Perhaps it doesn't need to do that. Perhaps I can just find out when he hits a corner. I don't know, I guess that's what it's doing actually. It's just moving every frame, and then when he does hit a corner. Sometimes turns to the other wall and bumps it. That's what I mean. So really, when he's in the top right, I want to choose down or left only. Yeah, that'll work. So I do get random. Compare 1 to 8. Yeah, that should work for the corners at least. I know it's a bit annoying because I have to do every corner. I was trying to come up with a way of making it happen, no matter what corner. There's nothing stopping me deleting all this later and writing it better. It's not exactly like hours worth, is it? Retro Revival Shop. I'll check them out. I am considering buying a new PC eventually, but like a PC, I mean. So, but maybe I'll just buy a retro machine instead. It'd be pretty cool streaming directly via a Spectrum. Of course, I'd have to stream with this computer, but yeah, definitely Geo. That's my plan. Get something up there. Of course, I could have read up on actual AI routines and sort of copied the bits I liked from other people, but here I've actually just tried to create it from the top of my head. So where was I? It was here, wasn't it? So basically 50-50 again. We're gonna have to make some routines just to say set state, set desired direction, and have each one of them. I'm gonna definitely delete some of these ones I've already written. Also, no, I didn't need it. Obviously, I'm gonna prefix it all with Bob because we need Taphead. Some other people. I probably should have copied this afterwards. See, really, I should probably change these to desired, but go is fine for now. I get it. That's the move. Bulb go up, bulb go down. Oops. It's not letting me. That was weird. So he's in the top right corner. Either go down or up. Down or left. Okay, so that's not too bad. Makefile, I've never done one of them. I did it once. I completely followed a line for line tutorial. There was a good one on GitHub that told me exactly how to do a makefile. There was something I really had to do it on. I can't remember what it was. I think it was something to do with Unreal Engine. So now he's in the top left. Oh, of course I haven't done the bottom left yet. Down's fine. Rigator. Just change that to up. And change that to up. Alright. That's taking shape now. Some of this is bloat now. Not this. In fact, it's all alright, yeah. So we've got a middle change of crud. That messes around when he's in the middle. And this messes around with the corners. It's called corner, but really it's side, and then it checks the corners. These are jump targets, and I'd love to be able to distinguish between full labels and jump targets somehow. I wish I could change the colour of them, or maybe you can't even do that. You can't even indent them, or whatever you want to call it. They have to be on the first, same as a label. Anyway, I'll just have to remember it. It jumps to one of them and then returns. It's fine, it's fine. That's just a getter and a setter, similar to in C++, where you create a state and then you have getters and setters. That's just the setter side of it. prefixes here, yeah. Oh, I see, with the jump thing, that would be a good, I could just put a little J, for example, couldn't I? Might become cumbersome. Yeah, I could. For this, for this simple stuff, I've decided to avoid having the J's, just making it look a little bit more ugly, perhaps. And jump is a bit too similar to the jump instruction as well, maybe, I don't know, but I'm just going to make sure that I don't have a space if it's a jump label. That's how I'm going to do it, and then there will be a space if it's not. That's the only way I'm doing it right now, but it does make sense to me. Yeah, it's not great though. Either way, it's a lesser of two evils thing. Yeah, again, if only there was a way that the compiler or the ZX extension, Z80 extension, was clever enough to know that that was a jump label and somehow make it a different color or underline or whatever. Yeah, yeah. Again, that's just pure preference. A lot of people, literally, I've seen with Coldwell, for example, all his labels are like, it'd just be Bob Corn L, and that it would be something like that. And I think that's how he knows it's a jump label. But it's all right. It just means we might have to look through it even more careful to figure out what's happening sometimes, especially if it was a huge great thing like that draw code we've got. Do you know what? If we call this now at the right time, which we already are, aren't we? I've already done that. It might just work. Just try it. I might have broken everything. Oh, see that? Yeah, I know, mate. The difference is that one stores an address to go to it and comes back. I've got the directions wrong or something. Yeah, they're all labels just to that specific point in memory, aren't they? It's the instruction call or jump that's actually different. But if it was really, really clever, it could see how you called that, and if you jump to it, change its color. He's working, but he's still facing that top bit somehow. Sometimes I've got one of the directions wrong, I think. I'm just going to double check my comparison to see if NC is definitely more than. I know it is. I've looked it up so many times now. NC is more than or equal. C is less than. Couple extra. Of course, I've done something majorly wrong here. Nightmare. Because I want to get quick results, because it's going, I haven't got that much longer. I'm going to end up copying and pasting this and doing the same thing for upper and lower. The only good thing about that is no, there's no good thing about that. Let me just make sure it's going to work in my head a second. It's been on a special for because I've called it check corner left. It should be check side. Let's rename it before I get too confused. That's fine actually, the name of that. But here, where is it? Yeah, here we don't know whether he's on the left or right. I don't know why I put that. I'm going to have to just have upper and lower ones. Funny enough though, we want him to jump. Like we still want to jump to them. Do you see what I mean? But instead of checking Y, we want to check the X to see which one to go to. God. T for top. So if it's less than that, it's in the top left, yeah? If not, this is where it gets funny. He's in the top right. He's all the way down there. So maybe I should be moving them. So these are the jump labels. And these don't have return statements. They just jump there. Should make sense. Should work, I mean. B for bottom. I'll put a little comment. That'll do. Yeah, that would have been a more sensible way of putting it, Geo. I'll even put your one afterwards so we can change it sneakily. Oh, over at there, yeah. That'll do. There we go. Sometimes you think you're getting hung up on making comments unnecessarily, but they come in so handy. BR? Excellent. So I guess I may as well just sort these out. They're not very well laid out. I'd rather have the bottom above the top, funnily enough, because that's how it's laid out on the screen. Cheeky pun. I don't even get it. I normally manage to get puns, but it's looking smart, that routine now. It looks pretty decent. It makes sense to me. You should walk around in the right direction. Have I done these yet? They're called side, aren't they? Oh, that makes more sense. But even more sense would be Bob hit wall. Oh, that's looking good. There's probably some mistake in there. We just need to make sure we call in these ones now. Let's give it a whirl. I think that's good now. No, it's not. Line 89. Try to move up. Oh, it's T. Okay. 107. B. But hey, he's in the middle, so we've done nothing to change any of that. He's sobered up. We'll have to make a cheat in the game where you can somehow feed him some whiskey or something. Super brew, special brew. And change it back to that AI that we had before. Because that would be the most awesome cheat in the world. It's still not perfect, but it's bloody a lot better than it was. He doesn't look at any walls anymore. Yeah, success, thank you. It's a shame he's still favouring certain directions. But I think the code got made more ugly, and then it got made pretty again. And it ended up pretty clean actually, and I think we can change it quite easily now. He's certainly not. I think it might be just a turn chance I need. I need to favour certain directions. But yeah, it's certainly good, because imagine now you just put him into lock mode. I know it's easier said than done, but I stand up, I collect one heart. Oh, that was funny. Look, he's already after me. Obviously, we need him to make sure he walks away from you when he. I mean, he doesn't in the game, but he can't collide with you at least when you're sitting down. And he stops like hunting you just for a second. But if you imagine, I have to do the bum thing. Boom, boom, oh, boom, boom, boom. Obviously, he needs to come down these alleys as well. I need the same thing as the middle changer, but for each one of the alleys. Perhaps more chance of. Obviously, he just looked at the floor, at the ground there, but that was during the middle. But yeah, we're there. We just need to change the chances, I think, and the seed, perhaps. Lovely. Well, I'm gonna have to wind it up because it's gone over what time I was really allowing for it. Fat kids. I think there's like a jock wearing his helmet and everything. Then there's like a cheerleader, or maybe not a cheerleader. She's like a schoolgirl. Harder to bump off. That's a funny idea. I do like it. That's a good idea. But in the later level, once you repeat the levels, they become harder to knock off. Yeah, I'll wrap it up here now. But we've made a lot of progress again. and I haven't. While I'm at work, I'll consider what we'll add later. I might just make do with his roaming for now. Yeah, definitely, definitely. But it was a great idea. I might do that. Just have like one fat kid in there who's hard to bump off. Thanks, Moz. Yeah, I'll be here later. I try to make it 11 o'clock, but it normally ends up a bit nearer to 12 sometimes by the time I actually get online. But somewhere between 11 and 12. Good night, Gio. Enjoy the rest of your night. And Moz, I'll see you later. And hopefully, whoever else is watching, I'll be here half 11ish roughly. Catch you then.